Hi guys, how is everybody tonight? I wanted to get this video out yesterday. I haven't been feeling too good. I'm still battling a migraine tonight, but my determination to get this done before Christmas won out. So we are going to try to finish this bad boy tonight. Okay, so for the background, we're going to do a kind of predictable background. But we're going to use some soft pastels. And I picked out some blues that we're going to start with. So I have this really dark blue, this kind of medium blue, and this light blue. We're going to try those three. Now, if you guys follow Claire Holloway, you guys know, or Holloway, you guys know that she just did a vignette, a video. I'm not going to quite do that, but what I am going to do, I have always, when I use soft pastels, I've always taken a scrap piece of paper or a paper plate, and I used a knife and I scraped off that pastels and I rubbed it in. So I'm going to get brave, and I am going to try doing it straight on the paper and then blending it. So if this does not work out and you are following along, then do not do what I do and then just scrape it off and use a one of those makeup wedges or a Q-tip or something to blend it in. I just want to make sure I had my colors in the right order. Okay, so fingers crossed, let's go. So I'm going to take this darker one, and what I kind of want to do is go from dark to medium to light, and I'm going to kind of use these ivy leaves on the side here to be kind of my guide where I want my light to begin. Oh God, I'm nervous. You shouldn't be nervous, right? You should just go for it, because coloring is about having fun and experimenting. I guess what I'm most nervous about is it getting, pretty far into this gold, especially in these little tight areas here. But I'm not filling those in all the way just because I don't want to get into the color. And I'm just using the corner of these. Now, I don't know if you guys have this particular brand of soft pastels or not, but I'm going to try to avoid it because my next color, I was playing around with it, and my next blue color, it's very scratchy. Like I went to, I don't know if you guys can even see that, I went to lay it down on a separate piece of paper because I told you guys I wanted to use two different mediums. Yeah, that didn't work. But I went to lay these down on the paper, and I noticed that it was like super scratchy. It didn't want to come off. I don't know. I was really just aggravated with it. So I'm going to try it again tonight and maybe try. I know one side works pretty good. The good thing with these pastels is if I do get it on that gold a little bit, I can lightly erase it and it'll come off. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just kind of making a ring around this dark ring. And I'm debating if I want to, in here, I want to go all dark. But I'm debating if I want to do all of it at once and then blend it in. Or if I want to like blend this in, then blend the next color in. I haven't quite decided yet. Because I am nervous doing this. I've never, ever tried this method before. So we are trying it together. And as you guys know, I am not afraid to mess up on camera. I like to try things with you guys. So this way, if I do mess up, you guys can learn from my mistakes. The one thing about this, and I did not grab it, is it's always good to have a baby wipe kind of nearby because your fingers do get chucky, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in this next one. Yep, that's a bad side. Bad side. Let's try this side. I told you guys I struggle with this one. I don't even know if you guys can see how scratchy that is. It really kind of annoys me. I'm just hoping that it blends out kind of nice. Now I told you guys that I'm kind of using these ivy leaves, but I'm kind of going right up to the edge of these red doohickeys here with this medium blue, because I think once we start like blending it, it's going to pull out anyway. At least that's what I'm guessing. And I might have to like scrape some with my knife off to the side and fill in some gaps. I'm not sure. We're going to find out though together. At least with pastels, it's kind of easy. Well, that's what I wanted to say. You know, if you don't have soft pastels, that's okay too. You can do this in pencil. I mean, granted, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but you can do it in pencil. Or, like the tip I gave you before, you can use eyeshadow. And eyeshadow it around. Now, I'm sure that you guys know that sometimes I go a little crooked. I mean, it is me we're talking about. So I'm sure this isn't going to be like perfectly, you know, this side's not going to match that side. And you guys know this, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I figure if I fail on this, and you guys, you know, learn from my mistake and don't do what I do. So if I fail, I can either A, try to erase it all, because as we all know, soft pastels you can erase. So I can sit here and try to erase it all, but I think that even if I did that, I would still have some blue left over, like some residue. So instead, I figured I can just paint the whole thing. Just paint the whole background. Get a black or a dark blue or something to cover my mess up. But I won't do that on camera. I'll just do that in my own time. See, I think I'm dragging my hand through this. That's okay. But you guys will know if I mess up or not because you'll be able to see it. So I'm trying to do this quick. So then this way, you guys aren't bored of me doing the same thing over and over and over. But I figured if I do the whole process with you guys, then you guys can see that I am not, why is, yep, we're going to go out to like here. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit, curve it around. I don't know. But you guys can see that I'm not cheating. I'm not, you know, taking it off camera and erasing some of it and trying again. I am doing it all right here in front of you guys. I got the some of the most beautiful Happy Mail today. I should say, well, it is Happy Mail, but it was for Christmas. And it is gorgeous. I'm so excited. But as you guys know, I don't show my Happy Mail videos anymore. A, for fairness, because Some people, you know, don't want their names involved. Um, and B, it's just, I have been accused of a lot of things, and I just don't want to deal with that drama no more. I'm just over it. So instead, you know, I say thank you. I tell you guys, you know, that I, you know, got stuff or whatever. And sometimes I don't even mention it at all. But yes, I did today. It was quite a nice surprise, especially since I haven't been feeling too good. You know, whenever you're not feeling good, it's always nice to get a little pick me up, you know. I'm gonna go in here again. Okay, so as I said before, it might not be totally even, but that's okay. All right, let's go with this. Nope, I don't want to use this hand. I almost grabbed it with my left hand, and I'm trying to keep that hand somewhat clean. Okay, so I'm going to go with this lightest color, and I'm only going to go to like this ivy area there, because I'm hoping that once I start blending this all out, that I can just keep going to the middle and it'll get like lighter. So then we have that really super light area. Hoping. Now this ivy leaf kind of stands up a little taller than the rest because of this little seashell looking thing there. And I'm hoping that my editing program, for some reason, my editing program has been taking so long. I really don't want to go there, but we're going to. But it has been taking so long to render some of my videos. For instance, the video that I made earlier today of that flip through, you know, it was just a short video and it took almost an hour for it to render. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't like that there, but that's okay. And I'm not sure if it's because my memory on my computer is running low and so that's why it's taking so long. Even though I did clear a lot of stuff out, so it's a little bit better. Kind of want to try to round this up a little bit, even though it shouldn't matter. Okay, we're just going to leave it like that. But yeah, so it's been taking forever, so I'm hoping to get it uploaded tonight, which is the 23rd, but oh, it probably won't. It'll probably be the 24th because it's almost midnight now. Okay, so I'm going to use my cotton swab here, or Q-tip. But what I found is if I use it on my side, and I found this out before, I'm trying to find, and I had one right here. I'll get one in a minute, an eraser, because I got some blue down here. But if I use the side of this, I find that it, like, the cotton kind of comes out and it gets all kinds of, it gets funky. So I kind of use it on its end like this. And I make sure I just kind of keep it upright. And we're going to blend. I want to try this. I'm going to go from that dark to that medium to this light to this light. And I want to see if I pull that light out, it'll get super light. And it kind of does. Kind of. Not really, but it's okay. So I'm just going to go around this whole picture here. And I am kind of trying to stay away from the gold and the reds and things like that. Now see, that got a little bit darker because my Q-tip was darker. But like I said, that's okay. I guess if you find yourself getting, your Q-tip getting too dark or bringing it out too dark, just flip it over and keep going. Or what I should probably do is once I start blending all of this down into this lighter area, I guess I could flip it over and then just use one side for this light area and bring it out. But it's kind of too late now because I've already got it to where I got it. So we're just going to keep going with it. I'm not totally displeased with it, so I'm okay. These little areas are what's the hardest. Now I'm probably going to have to use this on its side just to get into these tiny, tiny little areas here. And I'm sorry if that squeaky noise drives you guys bonkers. I'm trying not to make that noise. But in these tiny areas, it's hard not to try to just get in there with a corner, even though Q-tips don't have a corner, but that's how I feel. Like I need to just use an edge of it. Okay. This part here, I'm probably going to try to just pull some of that color down, but not a lot of it. Yeah, like that'll make me a little happier. I do need to find that eraser though, but what I'm thinking, oh no, I used distressed inks, never mind. Because I was thinking that I used soft pastels on this part, the outside part, but I didn't. I used distressed ink, so it won't erase. Some of that highlighter, whatever, that makeup stuff that I used might erase a little bit, but I can always add that back on before I set all of this. And I'll tell you guys right now, you guys can use a fixative to set your pastels. Your distressed inks you don't need to set because once you put them on, then they're on. Even though a while ago I asked Karen from Zucchini Kitty if she sets hers, and she said no. And the reason being is they are water-based, so she didn't know if she put it on there, if it would make a difference or not. So she did not set them, but she's never had issues with them coming off, and neither have I, because I have never set mine, and I haven't had no issues with them coming off at all. So, it's one of those if it's not broke, don't fix it things. But we're going to find out today, and hopefully when I spray this, it's not going to get too bad. It's not going to mess up that ink at all. Guys, I am trying to kind of hurry here. My next video, well, it might not be my next, I might have a couple in between, but I have to, the one video that I'm talking about, I have to get it done before the first of the year. Like, that's my goal. And I told you guys, my New Year's resolution is to be more organized, and that is part of my plan. Like, I have a plan that I always I plan everything out, and it doesn't always work, but I'm trying to kind of stick with it. I'm going to put a little bit of dark up here, I guess, since the rest of it's dark. But so I'm trying to stick with it. So with that in mind, I have to get it out by the 1st. So let's see. Or maybe I'll just fail, my New Year's resolution right at the start. That's a possibility. It was a long night tonight. Xander, he wasn't feeling too good, so it took me a while to get him in bed. And his tummy just to settle down enough for him to go to sleep. That's why I'm recording this a bit later than I wanted to. But that's okay. Like I said, I was determined to get it done, even with this darn migraine. And I have migraine medicine. They gave me Imitrex. So I take this Imitrex. But I was telling a couple of my friends tonight, I said, man, like this stuff is kind of brutal because every time I take it, and I try to catch my migraines before they're full force, but every time I take it, it makes me nauseous, like really bad nauseous where, I start throwing up. And one of my friends said, well, maybe the dose is too strong. She's like, maybe start cutting it in half. And that might be what I'm going to have to start doing because it does make me feel awful. And that might be, oops, that got a little dark. Let's see if we can rub that out a little bit. And that might be one of the reasons why I feel crappy because I have had a migraine the past couple of days. But normally I just kind of, sit in a dark room for a while, try to push through it, and I'm okay. But lately I just can't do that. Okay, so as I sit here and I'm looking at this, I realized, flip this over real quick, I realized I did get a little dark in spots, but that's okay. It turned out a lot better than what I was expecting it to. And it actually, got done pretty quickly here. Okay, so look, I made a mess down here. That's okay. So I'm going to take a brush here. Let's pull this paper out. Take a brush here, and I'm going to gently try to get all of that excess off. And then I'm going to have to get up and go find my eraser. Oh, look, I see it. Right in front of me where I thought it was. Okay. Try to erase all this blue that I got around here from my hand. And I knew better. Like I knew that I should have put down my wax paper, my paper. What's funny is some of this ink is coming off. But because it's distressed ink, I can always add that back on. And the ink might not be coming off. It just might be how I see it. I'm kind of going around this gold area, this golden area here. I'm trying to make sure that I use the white part of my eraser. If not, I just kind of rub it on my desk, get all that junk off, and go back at it. Okay, so that is good enough for me right there. Okay, so the next step is, let me move all this pastel stuff out of the way. I want to keep that. My paper, and the camera shakes. I am so sorry. Okay, so the next step that I want to do is I got this gold paint here, and you don't have to use this one. I have Fine-Tex, the Paul Rubens, whatever kind of shimmery paint you want to use. And if you don't have this, you can use a gold gel pen, or you can just use one of those like the white jelly rolls or a Posca pen. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to spray some of this gold, but I'm not going to do it over my paper here. All right, and I'm going to wait for that to kind of set in. And while I do that, I'm looking at a couple areas here that might need to be blended out a little bit more, if it will. And if not, I don't care. I thought about putting a thin layer of black around this, and then I decided, nope, that's not what I'm going to do, because my luck, I'll put too much black on there and it'll look like a hot mess. So no black. But I kind of like, you know, when you have that, like, the black makes it look kind of look shadowed. But yeah, I'm not going to do it. Just like I was going to take some like a gray, and I wanted to put a shadow underneath Rudolph, and that's not happening either. And I don't like how this doesn't look circled, but it's okay. Okay, so hopefully this paint is kind of, I want to get it like real watery. Try to. Yeah, that's not bad. I always tap it, and if it kind of comes off the brush, then that's when I think that, oh, okay, that's not bad. Okay, so I want to make sure that I cover up Rudolph here. I kind of got a little bit of, okay. And I'm just going to flick it. And I'm not too worried if I get it on the other stuff. Maybe this isn't wet enough because it's not flicking very good. But what I could do is take one of my pencils. Let's cover him up. And if it comes off big, I'm not too worried about that either. Oh, I got on his butt. Try to do this methodically, but yeah, that's so not working. So if I get a little bit like that on him, just kind of wipe that off a little bit when it's still wet, because my wax paper was kind of going in between, so I'm just kind of trying to stay away from him a bit. I just want to put some gold on there. I'm also going to take it, I'm going to put some gold around the outside. I think I need a little bit more water. I'm going to put some gold around the outside just to give it all that kind of sparkly effect. I want a little bit more right here. If I can get it to come off. There we go. Okay, so now I want to let it dry. And I want to try to, without messing him up too much, get off some of that gold, at least that one right there. And look what I just did. I just put more on his face that I did not want. Okay, so the next thing that I was thinking, I don't even know if you guys could see all this stuff. And it is drying, but it is, I got, you know, sparklies everywhere. And I don't think that I'm going to do it. But what I thought about doing was taking like a red gel pen or a white one or a yellow one. I wasn't sure. But doing some markings around his nose, you know, like it's glowing. I personally am not going to do that. And the reason I'm not is because I know I'll mess it up. Period. It's going to happen. I'll mess it up. So I'm not even going to bother with it. So I am going to call this done. This is kind of a shorter video here, at least for me. I'm going to grab me, what's this one? Oh, this one's fine. I'm going to grab me my, this is one of those Tombow something and others. That'll work. And I'm going to put my little John Hancock on here. And then it is still, oh, I got 1 minute before it's Christmas Eve. So I'm going to put 12, 23, 19. So guys, that is it. I know one of you is following along and coloring this picture with me, and I thought that was so cool. And I know you're using different pencils, and that's fine too. But thank you for everybody that's been watching, everybody that's been commenting. You guys mean the world to me. And we'll be back with another video real soon. And Merry Christmas to all of you. If I don't see you before then, Merry Christmas, and I hope your holidays are great. All right, guys, bye. Okay, so I lied. I'm back real quick. So I told you guys that I was going to show you how I finish this. And I'm just going to bump you guys out real quick like that. Now this is what I use. I use this Suave Professional Firm Control. I get it at my Dollar General for a couple of bucks. And the reason I like this one is when you're using a hairspray fixative, always try to find one with this kind of nozzle, not the one that you pump, just because, or the one that has the little sprayer where you push it down. Aquanet. If you guys remember Aquanet in the big hair days, they have those, and it doesn't work as good. It leaves like little droplets on your paper. But this is what I like using. And literally, I just spray. And I kind of go 2 coats, one this way, one that way, and I leave it. But the reason I like this one, the other reason I like this one is I have a page that I did about a year ago, and it has not yellowed at all. A lot of people say that when you use hairspray, it kind of yellows your pages. So far, it's never yellowed my pages, so if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So this is what I use. I'm sure there's other hairsprays out there that you can use, but I just wanted to show you guys because I did say that I was going to, and I forgot until just a minute ago. So, all right, for real this time. Bye, guys, and I will see you later. Happy holidays. Much love to you all.